Hi, welcome back. Hi, welcome to the first iteration of Chill Space. I'm your unreliable host, Tod Chylan. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a great, long lasting, entertaining, reliable, somewhat entertainment for you. Right now, I'm eating my breakfast, having a little bit of a smoothie, and I really just want to get into my mind so that I can express some of my thoughts, some of my interests, and spend some time with hopefully some really cool people. That might be you. So let's dig in. My first topic is breakfast, food. Just came to me right now because, well, there's food right here. Sometimes we are what we eat. So if you're eating something healthy, then you might be a healthy person. If you're eating something unhealthy, then you might be an unhealthy person. It's as simple as that. There's lots of things that are healthy. In the grocery store, sometimes you just got to go to the right shelves. So go to the grocery store the next time you're there and spend an extra 15 minutes or so and just look for something that might intrigue you that you might not otherwise have eaten in the first place. Eating healthy takes a little bit more time to cook because you're not just tossing something in the microwave. You're kind of spending time with that food. You hear that? That's oats, eggs, and sausage. Not the most healthy thing, but it's got some protein, got the oats for the heart, and then, the sausage is just counteracting the heart benefits of the oats. So, we can't all be perfect. But let me get a bite of this. Um, I'd like to add that there's a lot of honey on there, some cinnamon, salt, pepper. In here we've got some berries, some yogurt, Greek, all natural, plain. I don't know really how natural it can be. I don't even know how to speak Greek. Very good. Let's play some music. The setup isn't perfect, but we'll work with what we've got. Always got to tune up a little bit before, you get started. Running a little flat. Temperature change can do that. This is a song I like to call IDRC. IDRC is a song about not really caring what the haters say. Okay?
say, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't really care what your mother say, oh yeah, oh yeah. I got way too many mothers approving me. Not just one, not two, definitely not three. Walk into a room and all you gon' see is 1,000 hating eyes staring back at me. I don't really care what a hater say, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't really care what your mother say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Strictly Sam on the drums. That's IDRC by Tod Chylan. So a little bit more about me, Tod Chylan. As you can tell, I like food. I like coffee, which I need to go make my coffee for this morning. Maybe we'll take a short break here in a moment. I like guitars, I like cars, I like skateboarding, I like space. I like music, of course. I like to have a good time. I enjoy testing our thoughts, testing our limits, testing the abilities of ourselves. I like fire trucks. I don't know. What else do we like? Clothes. I'm wearing my Beastie Boys shirt. Check your head. It's not the reissued, all blacked out version, but it's timeless. As the band is. Actually, Beastie Boys' Ill Communication was my first album I ever purchased. It was a CD. It wasn't vinyl. But that doesn't mean... An album doesn't mean vinyl. An album is a collection of works put together into a album. I gotta get up and see if this camera is working right now. Yep, we're doing it live. Oh, this chair's all... That's better. I took the back off of my chair because I was having some tailbone issues. Now without the back, I can kind of rest my tailbone off the rear of the chair, and all is well. Let's talk about space a little bit. We've got Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 right now, just going out, away from our solar system. As of late next year, 2026, Voyager 1 will be a full 24 hours away from us as far as a light day. You know Buzz Lightyear? Imagine a light day. One of 365 days. So, in 1977, Voyager 1 was sent out. And it won't be until next year, 2026, that's a whole 49 years later, if my math is correct. It's only one full light day away from us. It's far beyond Pluto. It's far beyond Earth. It's many, many billions of miles away from us. And it's probably only the size of this room that I'm in right now, my studio, as I call it. And I think that's just fascinating. Don't you? This craft that was constructed by humans with radio signals, radio antennas, literally the antenna on your car, if cars even have antennas nowadays. Doing, 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 doing. That's what's sending signals back and forth between Earth and these Voyagers. There's 3 locations on Earth with these massive towers. Australia has one, I believe somewhere in Europe, and then I forget where in the US we have these towers, these antennas, and that's what we're using to communicate at any given point, at any location that our Earth is to the sun, and in reference to these Voyagers going out, we have these antennas that can communicate and then send those signals through a various stream of other small antennas, and we can say, hey, what's happening in interstellar space, Voyager 1? And it can say beep, boop, boop, beep. And I just think that stuff is fascinating because there's so many problems in our world today that I think can be avoided if everybody just took a moment to step back, maybe have a seat, drink a cup of coffee, and realize that there's so much more beyond our reach in this world that we could be discussing, we could be pondering with our thoughts. I just find the human life so fascinating and that we create so many problems where they need not be created. Sometimes people, entities, communities, businesses, they need human life to fail in order for them to be a necessity. So many things are not a necessity, but they play these mind games and they tell you, oh, you need me because if not for me, this. And I don't want to be a target, so I'm not going to go into too many details on certain things, maybe not today, maybe on another episode, perhaps, but let's just say life is only fair if you make it fair. If you don't set up the boundaries for failure, then you'll live a fair life. Another reality is we all have an expiration date. Not to get too dark on this first episode, but the reality is we all have an expiration date, the same way the milk in your fridge does, if you are into dairy. And that's not meant to startle anyone. It's not meant to have a negative impact on your day or your thoughts. It's actually meant to have a positive impact on your thoughts, your reality, and your everyday enjoyment. Every day that the sun rotates and allows every day that the earth rotates and allows the sun to rise in our perceived east is another day in which you can bask in the glory of life. I encourage you every morning to wake up and see the sun. which actually reminds me of my song, Don't Forget to Brush Your Teeth. Would you like to hear it? Maybe we'll save it for episode 2. Essentially, the song goes, Don't forget to brush your teeth. Don't forget to brush your teeth now. Wake up and see the sun. You'll get a lot more done. Don't forget to brush your teeth. I don't have too much information about the teeth, but from what I understand is the teeth are very much in tune with the function of your brain, and your body is very much in tune from the function of your brain. So your teeth are in a way a source of health for your entire body. If you got healthy teeth, you got a healthy brain. If you got a healthy brain, you got a healthy body, for the most part. As you can tell, I'm very fascinated with the health because I believe that health is wealth. I believe that we are provided a duty to take care of ourselves. And if you have been lacking in this area for some time or your entire life, it's not meant to be shameful. I simply encourage you to reach down for your toes, reach up for the sky, stare at the sun in the morning, find 10 minutes to go for a walk, even if it's to the end of the road and back or to your mailbox if you have one. Just go for a walk. I know a lot of people, they go to the mall and they go walking there. Maybe you don't have a mall in your town. Perhaps you don't have much, and that's okay too. It's good to be timeless. It's good to live as if you are not even in your time zone. Imagine you are living 500 years ago or 500 years in the future. Imagine what you would be doing with your time and bring that to your present day. Or not. Do whatever makes you feel happy. That's how I feel. Let's get back into some more exciting interest. The Beastie Boys, Ill Communication. Oh my gosh. If I could have 5 minutes to talk with Rick Rubin, it would probably turn into a 6-hour conversation. Not because I have so many questions, but I want to hear his questions. So I would flip the script and have him ask me questions. Because I may not have the answers, but I might have something to say. And I find that fascinating. Rick Rubin. Oh, to get into the booth with Pharrell, I think we would have a great time getting into our falsetto. I've been working on mine for like 20 years now. I remember being in a car, and I didn't know what a metronome was, but I knew what the turn signal was, and I would beatbox along with the turn signal while my mother was driving. I would also sing along to the songs in the car, but without belting out in a super loud voice. I would sing in my falsetto. And my mom said, that's probably not in your best interest to sing that way because she doesn't know music. And I said, no, like it's a thing people do. I didn't know what falsetto was, but I knew that people sang in their upper register, even though I didn't know that that's what it was called at the time. And I thought, you know what? If I could sing in my upper register, I'll get all the ladies. I also thought if I could sing in my upper register, I would make a lot of money because people who sing in their upper register and get all the ladies and make a lot of money, well, they make a lot of money. I have since simply wanted to make good music, good writing. And I think I'm along that path. I've written a lot of really cool things that I find interesting. And I seem to continue to write a lot more things that I find interesting. Let's go over some of my bars, if we will. When I walk onto the scene, what more could you ask me for? No kicking and screaming when I break down doors. I was so hungry, think I ate a horse. And all this rhyming's got my voice a horse. My girl, she'd tell me I'm a dork, of course, unless I take her to New York and we intercourse. Air cooled engine call me a Porsche, and I never ever have by yours remorse. That's a little excerpt from a song I like to call Business is Business. Because I'm in the business of taking care of business. Let's break down that verse, if you will. Let's do all the genius do ba do. When I walk into the scene, what more could you ask me for? I'm talking about Tod Chylan walking onto the scene of the music industry, saying, "This is me. What more could you ask for?" For what more could you ask me is the proper grammar, I believe. But what more could you ask me for? No kicking and screaming when I break down doors. Kicking and Screaming was a movie with Will Ferrell about soccer, but it's also used as a phrase to describe somebody who is in a panic, having a mental breakdown, a throwing a tantrum, not the wakeboarding trick, but kicking and screaming, just pow, 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 pow. Don't be upset when I break down doors, as Tod Chylan, is what I'm saying. Because I was so hungry, I think I ate a horse, and all this rhyming's got my voice a horse. Some of these are self-explanatory, but let's just go into detail. There's a phrase in America where people say, "I'm so hungry, I think I could eat a horse." So I was so hungry for this game in the music industry, I think that I ate a horse. And all this rhyming that I'm doing, it's got my voice hoarse. My girl, she'd tell me I'm a dork, of course, unless I take her to New York and we intercourse. Self-explanatory. Air-cooled engine call me a Porsche, and I never ever have by yours remorse. So Porsches were initially air-cooled engines. They have since evolved, and they have water-cooled engines for these Porsches. But I'm an air-cooled engine, so you could call me a Porsche, a well-engineered human. Because if I'm feeling stressed, if I get some fresh air, I feel so much better. Sometimes I just gotta literally poke my head out the front window or the front door, and I feel 10 times better. So call me a Porsche, and I never ever have by yours remorse. There's nothing that I, in today's life, purchase that I feel remorseful about. Everything that I buy is with a purpose. My new laptop I saved up for maybe 15 years. My old laptop is a 2011 laptop. It's 2025, almost 2026, and it wasn't until this year that I got a new one. This one was actually even a hand-me-down. And when I received it, its battery wouldn't hold a charge, and its motherboard wouldn't operate unless it was charging. And so I've been tethered with that laptop. Now I'm a lot more mobile. I'm recording this 25 minutes video right here, and it's fantastic. So I don't have buyer's remorse on that. Daily, I purchase food. I buy my rent, my utilities. I've collected clothes for many, many, many years that will last me many, many, many years. And occasionally I get new clothes, but incrementally. And I don't have buyer's remorse about those things. So, need less to say, I'm in the business of taking care of business. What else can we do before we wrap this up? 30 minutes is quite a trek for episode 1. I really want to take chill space. This is what I'm calling this program. I really want to make it a little bit more formal so you know what to expect. A little less haphazard of conversation, more topics. Really want to get into these topics of skateboarding, action sports. I would love to get into the discussion of Travis Pastrana. I think there should be a phrase called the Travis Pastrana effect, because the effect that he has on beyond the action sports community, I think, is incredible. All of these Red Bull sports athletes, with all due respect, have come from Travis Pastrana jumping out of an airplane, essentially. Red Bull before, from my understanding and my experience, was built on these hand-drawn commercials about Red Bull giving you wings, and Travis literally jumped out of an airplane with no parachute, as if he had wings, and his phrase was, "I hope this stuff works." That was crazy. And ever since then, Red Bull has sponsored so many incredible feats and broken so many world records, and yeah, I'm fascinated by fascinating people, and Travis is one of them. The Beastie Boys, they're one of them. R.I.P. Eric Clapton is one of my number one influences. Shout out Eric Clapton. Still making incredible music. If you haven't, go listen to Meanwhile, the album by Clapton, released in October 2024. Some incredible tunes on there. Real quick, some of my favorite Clapton albums are Pilgrim, August. I've listened to August probably 5 times in the last week. Journeyman is pretty good. Pilgrim is incredible. The production on it is high quality, unlike anything I've ever heard before. I literally try to emulate the production quality of Pilgrim, but I come short. Tod Chylan is in his demo tapes era. Demo tapes is an album by Tod Chylan. Its full name is Demo Tapes 2 and Demo Tapes 1. Demo Tapes also and Demo Tapes Victory is the phrasing. But they're my demo tapes, and everything else that I'm creating outside of that album is also in my demo tapes era. That song, IDRC, that's in my demo tapes era. My song, Don't Forget to Brush Your Teeth, my demo tapes era. There's many songs that are in this era that I'm very excited to share to perform. Hopefully very soon on the stage. I'll be performing many of those songs. So it's exciting stuff. Let's wrap this up because I've got some peristalsis action happening. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but I've been backed up the past couple days. So let's move on. Once again, I'm Tod Chylan. This is Chill Space. Hopefully, it's the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. And now, looking in your eyes, I feel in my heart the start of something new. Good morning. Good night.